In this video, I'm not only going to show you a trade that I took that made me $7,200, but I'm also going to give you for completely free the entire strategy and system that I used to actually take this trade, so that we can replicate it and actually find trades like these on your own. And honestly, just get into the habit of finding profitable trades that actually make sense and that follow an overall trend. I'm gonna also share the thought process about this trade because, believe it or not, this was one where I actually almost lost and it ended up turning back. I regained my confidence once I saw something very specific in the market. And I think that if you can also learn from not only why I took this trade, but how I managed it and what I was thinking throughout the trade, then it's definitely gonna have a positive impact on your trading and you're most likely gonna become a whole lot more profitable. By the way, while you're watching my system and my strategy, I want you to think about, is your system a lot harder than mine? Because if it's more complicated, and I've already been doing this for 6 years and I'm doing this that's simple, then that could be a red flag for you to kind of like wake up and be like, you know, the more complicated my strategy is, it does not make it any better. Sometimes the simpler, the better. And I've had to simplify my trading over and over again. This is like version 40 of my strategy. It did not look like this a couple of years ago. So just think of that while you're watching me explain my strategy, and also just take a look into my thought process, into how I do what I do, so that way it could give you some tips and it can guide you while you're in your trades as well. That being said, let's get straight into this trade breakdown. All right, so here's the data on the trade itself. This was a break and retest setup where we saw the market obviously break above an important zone, came back into it, bounced off, and that's when we took our buy position and, you know, saw the market going up. So this was a 2-day holding trade, so a pretty short swing trade, and it netted us about $7,200 after fees and commissions. Basically, this was a 2-day trade, swing trade, break and retest, and we're gonna get into the chart now and actually break down, you know, how this trade made sense in the higher time frames as well, and how I was able to do a full top-down analysis and actually find this high quality trade. But here are some of the statistics, just so you can see kind of like our risk factor, you know, how much we were risking, and we're actually gonna get into that in the chart now. I'm gonna break down exactly how much I risk on this trade and what type of risk to reward it is that we got. All right, so getting into this trade, you might not expect that I actually almost lost this setup. And that's because obviously the entry has been optimized based on where I moved my stop after the market had already moved. Kind of like where it was that I entered in, because I entered in on this trade on Monday. It was during the New York session, a little bit after. And essentially the entry was on this candle here as the market started to kind of bounce off of support, right? We were at a support area, which is considered an area of interest right here. And off of this area of interest, I was expecting the market to go straight up from there. But what actually ended up happening was that the market ended up going down further before going back up. So I initially had a larger take profit, which was around 56,200. And I had a stop loss all the way down here in the 300s, risking 5250. So that was my total risk on this trade if the market would have stopped me out. Now, thankfully, we did not get stopped out on this trade, but it was very close. When I first took the trade, I didn't have this area of interest marked up, and I just thought that we were going to go from there and to go bullish. Now, why did I enter that trade in the first place? Because you might see it and you might say, well, you should have waited for the further pullback. The reason I entered in there was because I saw that on the 4-hour time frame, this was an area that had previously been held as support and was starting to be held right now as support. On top of that, we started to get some reactions here on the 2-hour candles. So that's actually why I entered in right there, because I saw that we were bouncing up and down. So I placed slight sell limit just slightly below where current price was. It came down, tapped in, and I got activated. Now, shortly after that, we get some drawdown. The market comes almost to the stop loss during London session, and then we start to bounce straight off of there. Now, once we actually bounced up and started getting a lot of bullish momentum, that's when I became very confident about this trade, and that's when I actually reduced my stop loss. That's why you saw at the beginning of this video my updated stop loss, because I moved it up to the bottom of that candle. But as you see, if I leave the chart like this, it looks like we got stopped out. So what I have to do is I have to move the profit and loss tool to the right. So that way it does not make it seem where it's like we lost the trade. And then, you know, mentally, first of all, that affects you mentally. And second of all, it just doesn't give us a clear picture of where price currently is, because as we can see right now, price is here. Now, as I reduced my stop loss, I also wanted to reduce my take profit. And I don't always do that. Sometimes I will leave my initial take profit and then the risk to reward will look very big like this. Like right here, it has a 3.79. A lot of the times I will leave the initial take profit, but in this case, because this had been a market that was already trending from before, we weren't really sure how long it was going to continue trending for. So therefore, it was the safer option to just take out my profit close to 0.56. It was just underneath 0.56, around 930, 940, somewhere around here. So I ended up securing about 35 pips on this, or 34 pips, which was 7,200 in profit. Actually a little bit more than that, but around 7,200 with a risk of 5.2K. So if you really look at it, the risk to reward on this was only a 1 to 1.35. Now you may be looking at this and saying, well, that's a very low risk to reward. Well, yes, because I'm not even showing you my best trades. I'm just showing you one that I took this week. And this is the reality of trading. Sometimes the trades are not going to be perfect. Most of my trades are a 1 to 2, 1 to 2.5 risk to reward, but this one was only a 1 to 1.3. Let's get into a little bit more of the reasoning behind why it made sense in the overall structure, like I did mention earlier. So I did mention that we were going to do a top-down analysis. Specifically, what we're looking for on the top-down analysis is the last couple of daily candles and where we have been overall trending. And we can see that overall, from last week, April, we had a very strong bullish candle. So we had a lot of bullishness. We had two candles that came down, but the amount that it came down compared to the amount that we moved up from the beginning was only about half. That's a perfectly normal retracement. We retraced 50% of the market and then we continued higher. So the trade made sense on the daily time frame, especially once you start seeing those rejection wicks to the downside. And when I say those rejection wicks, I'm talking about this one right here. This one right here. Because that shows instead of the market continuing down, it's not, right? It tried, but it failed, which means buyers are in control. We got a bullish candle closure above an area, which can only be seen if you head down into the 4-hour chart. You can't see this area very clearly on the daily. It's there, right? If you look to the left, it is technically there. Look, you have a bounce here. You have another bounce here right next to it. You even have the market came all the way back up to there, retested it, and then bounced off, rejected. We have some more bounces here in price action. So we have at least 5 bounces off of this daily area, but it's a lot easier to see it on the 4-hour chart. And then this is where the market started to trade above. So obviously if you have that, it's a very good confirmation that we're going to continue higher. So once we came down, almost got stopped out, but then we had a lot of bullishness to the upside, you can already start to get a lot of confidence. And that's what happened to me. I started to become very confident on this trade. Even though it was barely in profit, I knew most likely because of that reaction that we got, we were going to continue higher. And I think that's one of the main things that you can learn from this video. Read price action. And if you get a very strong bullish candle like that in a bullish trend, bouncing off of the EMA, which makes sense within the overall structure in regards to like if you were to do Fibonacci retracements, it makes sense for it to kind of like bounce off of there. Then you know most likely where the market's going to go. And that's when you can position yourself in the best place possible, which is also why I moved my stop loss up once we broke above this high. So once we broke above 55,790, I moved my stop loss up into a slight profit, essentially reducing my risk to 0. At that point, even if the market would have completely reversed against me, I would have not lost any profit. I actually think at one point, once we started to get closer to my take profit, I even moved it into profit a little bit. And I've just been doing that because, it depends on the market itself, but I've been doing that because it just kind of reduces the risk. And it also reduces the risk of losing profits. Because once your stop loss is at break even, you can't really lose much. But if you're already very close to your take profit, it sometimes is a good idea to just trail the stop in order to reduce how much you can lose in possible profits. Although I will say there's nothing wrong with having a trade that's in profit go down to break even. That's going to happen sometimes, so we just have to be accepting of that. But I think that kind of breaks down my thought process here a bit on this trade. I know I didn't go into too much detail because it was kind of a simple trade. It's a very, very simple setup. It's more so the thought process of what I was thinking once it was going in drawdown. I was like, okay, we're going in drawdown. This is either going to be a loss or it's going to be a win, but I have to stay confident in it. We went back up, and ultimately the reason why I didn't have my higher take profit, which would have made this a huge win, which instead it was still a really good win, just not a huge win. The reason for that is because the entry wasn't down here. If it was down here, I would have no problem having a huge target to the upside because it's at the beginning of the trend. Remember, this is not a shift in structure trade. This is a break and retest type of trade. This is a different setup. I think in one of my last trade recap videos, it was actually a shift of structure, which I made like 19K on that trade. It was a huge position. That's because it was at the beginning of the trend. We had the beginning. We were bearish, for example, consolidated, and then we started to go bullish. That's the difference. When I enter here, I can hold a long time. But if I'm entering all the way up here, not really, because I don't know when this trend is going to die out, and I'm not going to potentially risk losing my profit on a trade that I was correct on, but the trend just died out. And you don't even know how many times I've seen that. I've seen that happen so many times. If you can find an entry at the beginning of a trend, and I don't mean trading the reversal. This would be trading the reversal here. This is extremely risky, and you're going to lose a lot of trades trying to catch the bottom. I mean, once you have the shift of structure, if you can find an entry at the beginning of a trend, you're going to have so much more room to work with and a much higher potential profit compared to if you enter in up here. Once it goes higher, pulls back, and then you enter in. This could still be a very nice winning trade. I still trade this all of the time, just like AUDCHF right here, right now. But what I will say is having huge targets, sometimes that becomes a lot more risky, and the risk of reversal is a lot higher. So I manage these trades differently, and I move my stop loss up a lot sooner. You have to trade based on what the market is actually doing. That's why I have my trading system, which reduces the friction in me having to think about what to do, and it just kind of tells me what to do based on what type of market it is that we're trading and what condition of the market we're on and what phase. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys, and hopefully you guys can get something from the way that I'm doing things. Just take it, apply it to what you're doing, and hey, if you see any improvements, leave a like, subscribe to this channel to show me that it did actually end up helping you out. And if, by the way, you do trade in a very similar way, or you do want to get more into swing trading, maybe you have, for example, a full-time job and you don't have any time to actually day trade and scalp the markets every single day, like most trading strategies, and you do want to come into this and actually make this your full-time job, check the link in the description. I've been helping traders out very independently on a one-on-one basis as well, and helping them get to their goals. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely make sure to check out the resources linked below. I'll see you in the next one.